Good afternoon, dear students. So, my topic of discussion for today is the chapter 2 of paper A, Statistical Physics. So, the name of the chapter 2 is MB Statistics or Maxwell-Boltzmann Statistics. So, before starting the chapter, let us try and understand what are the three kinds of statistics. See, statistics जो फिजिक्स है it is basically having two branches that is known to be classical statistics and quantum statistics. All right, statistics is further divided into two categories, that is classical statistics and quantum statistics. The classical statistics is also known as Maxwell-Boltzmann's or MB statistics, whereas Bose-Einstein statistics, BE statistics, and Fermi-Dirac statistics, FD statistics. These two are the branches of the quantum statistics. We will discuss these two branches in detail in the next chapter, but now in this chapter I am going to discuss only about the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. My dear students, this chapter is very important as you will get these two chapters only if you have an understanding of this chapter. Alright, now let us try and understand in detail the basic difference between the classical statistics and the quantum statistics. See, what is classical statistics? It is also known as Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, and it treats the particles as distinguishable. Only this is the classical statistics or Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, which deals only with the particles that can be distinguished from each other. Alright, the particles that can be distinguished from each other could be treated only with the classical statistics or Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Now, the size of the phase space cell is H0 cube. See, what is a phase space cell? We will just try and understand this word after a few minutes. You just remember over here, just like in our house there is one room and the size of the room can be H0 the cube, and that can be as small as we require. So I can make the room as small as I require. The occupation index is far less than 1. See, what is the meaning of occupation index here? It is Ni upon Gi. So I am talking here about the ith compartment. The compartment in which number of particles are Ni and the number of phase space cells, or you can say number of chairs placed in the room, it is Gi. The ratio of the two, that is the number of particles to the number of phase space cells, it is known as occupation index. It is far less than 1 for classical statistics or MB statistics. Alright, there is no restriction on the particles that can occupy a phase space cell. You must learn what is the meaning of this line, that if the chairs have been placed in the room, any number of students can sit on one chair. It may be one student per chair, two students can sit on the same chair, three students can sit on the same chair, and so on. 1,000 students can sit on the same chair. This is the meaning of this line. The two particles can be distributed as follows. So I have two particles, distinguishable particles A and B. So according to this statistics, I can distribute these two particles in two compartments like AB, 0. Means the two particles have entered in the first compartment, whereas second compartment is completely empty. Or A, B means the first particle A is in the first compartment, B particle is in the second compartment. Or B particles in first compartment, A particles in second compartment. Or 0AB means first compartment is completely empty, whereas both the particles A and B have entered into the second compartment. This is the how two particles can be distributed in two compartments. You must remember over here that the particles which is to be distributed must be distinguishable. They can be distinguished from their names. Now come to the quantum statistics. So it is further divided into two categories, that is Bose-Einstein, BE statistics, and the Fermi-Dirac, that is FD statistics. It treats the particles as indistinguishable. Please underline this line. What is the meaning of indistinguishable? That means I cannot distinguish between the particles. The particles are exactly alike. No particle is having different size or color or name. Just like white balls, I have 10 white balls of same diameter and same size. Such 10 balls will be treated as the indistinguishable particles. Here in BE statistics, the occupation index means the ratio of the number of particles to the number of cells in the ith compartment. It must be greater than or equal to 1. So this means that the number of particles to be distributed is greater than or equal to 1. Similarly, the size of the phase space cell cannot be less than h cube. See, what is h over here? It is Planck's constant. You must remember that in classical statistics, we have taken the symbol h naught. Here I have to take the symbol only h. So h is known to be here Planck's constant. In classical statistics, the size can be as small as we require. But here, there is restriction on the size of the cell. The size of the cell cannot be less than h cube, where h is Planck's constant. There is no restriction on the particles. Again, see, the same thing is there. There is no restriction on the particles that can enter into a cell. No restriction on the particles that can enter into a cell. Alright? That means two particles can be distributed in BE statistics as. Now, because the particles are indistinguishable, so I will denote these particles by dots. The two dots, in first arrangement, the two dots are in the first compartment, means two particles are in the first compartment, whereas second compartment is completely empty. Either this can happen, there is only one particle in the two compartments, or I can have all the two particles in the second compartment, whereas first compartment is completely empty. So see, you can see over here, one microstate has been reduced. In case of classical statistics or MB statistics, there were 4 arrangements. Whereas here, since the particles are indistinguishable, so I have got only 3 arrangements, 3 microstates. Now come to FD statistics. Like BE statistics, FD statistics also treats the particles as indistinguishable. But here, there is a restriction on the occupation index. The occupation index can be either less than or equal to 1. This means that the number of particles can be less than or equal to the number of chairs in the room. Alright? That means if there are 10 chairs in a room, only 10 students or less than 10 students can enter into that room. Not 11 students even can enter into that room. So the particles obey Pauli's exclusion principle. This is the most important thing about FD statistics. That means the particles which obey FD statistics, they must obey Pauli's exclusion principle. So I think you must remember what is Pauli's exclusion principle in case of your chemistry classes. In chemistry, you must have dealt with Pauli's exclusion principle, which states that only one particle can occupy a chair. So here in statistics, Pauli's exclusion principle means one student can sit on one chair only. No two students together can sit on a chair. This is the meaning of here Pauli's exclusion principle. That is, one cell can either contain 1 or 0 particle. The restriction on the size of the cell is same. The size of the cell or phase space cell cannot be less than h cube, where h is Planck's constant. So two particles can be distributed as, see, there is only one arrangement, dot, dot. These two arrangements are not there in FD statistics, because in one compartment only one particle can enter according to the Pauli's exclusion principle. Have you got the point? I think you must have got the point over here. So basically that was about all the statistics, the MB statistics and the BE statistics. Now come to the next very important topic of the chapter, that is position space, momentum space and phase space. What does it mean? Position space, momentum space and phase space. My dear students, this topic is again very important from the exam point of view. See, what is the meaning of position space over here? What is position space? First of all, position space is nothing but the space around the system, the space around the system, the space in which the state of the constituent particles of a system can be described in terms of position coordinates. It is called the position space. It means if I want to locate any particle, I must tell its three coordinates x, y and z from some reference point known as origin. Alright? So such a space is known as position space. So in position space, each particle requires three coordinates x, y, z to describe the system of the state of the system. Now if a system consists of n particles, then we need to operate 3n position coordinates. The position space is always three-dimensional. Then come to momentum space. So momentum space, students, is always described for the dynamic systems, because the particles of a dynamic system, they are always in random motion. They cannot be at rest. So in that case, the positions in terms of momentum coordinates, it is known as momentum space. So the space in which the dynamic state, means the moving state, of the constituent particles of a system can be described in terms of momentum coordinates. It is called the momentum space. So in momentum space, each particle requires three momentum coordinates px, py, pz to describe the system. So if a system consists of n particles, we need 3n momentum coordinates. It is three-dimensional. So to understand the momentum space, I'll just give you an example over here. So what is that example? Suppose I am sitting in a room and I see some flies flying in the room. I have seen some flies flying in the room. So some flies are below and some flies are flying very high. So what will happen? Since those flies are not stationary, these are flying randomly here and there. So I will give different momentum, that is the instantaneous momentum, to each fly. So a fly can have three momentum coordinates. It can have three motions along x-axis or along y-axis or along z-axis. So it can have three types of momenta, that is px, py and pz. So I will describe the three momenta coordinates of that fly which is moving inside a room. So that means I can assign three momenta coordinates to a fly flying in the room, and that is known to be the momentum space. Now come to phase space. What is the meaning of phase space? Phase space is nothing but the combination of position space and momentum space. Alright? Now the space in which the state of a dynamic system, because the moving system I am considering over here, so it must be a dynamic system. So it can be completely represented in terms of position and momentum coordinates. It is called a phase space. So phase space is nothing but the combination of position space and momentum space. So in phase space, we need three position coordinates x, y, z and three momentum coordinates px, py and pz. Alright? So hence, to describe the behavior of a constituent particle of a system, we need 6 coordinates x, y, z and px, py, pz. So hence, the phase space is 6-dimensional. I think you have got it. Now come to the next topic. Next is available volume of phase space cell. What does it mean? See, available volume of a phase space cell means if I have a space, how much volume, how much the elementary cubical part of that space which is available for the constituent particles to move around in that space. That means the available volume of a phase space cell. Suppose we consider an elementary cubical part of the position space bounded by the sides delta x, delta y, delta z. It means you have considered a cube whose length is delta x, breadth is delta y and height is delta z. So in that case, you can give the volume to that cube. So what must be the volume of that cubical part, or you can say parallelepipedical part, that is delta v. then the volume of the position space element is given by delta V, which is delta x, length into breadth into height, delta x into delta y into delta z. Name that as equation number 1. Now, similarly, if we consider an elementary cubical part of the momentum space bounded by the sides delta px, delta py, delta pz. Now, what does it mean? It means the the cubical part whose length is delta x, breadth is delta y, thickness or height is delta z. In that cubical part, the momentum variations are along x-axis. Momentum can vary in the range of delta px. Momentum along y-axis can vary in the range of delta py, and momentum along z-axis can vary in the range of delta pz. So in that case, momentum space volume is given by delta v dash, which is delta px means length element, breadth element, length height element of the momentas. This is equation number 2. Then the product of the two volumes. Which volumes? Delta v and delta v dash. The product of that volume element in position space and that in the momentum space. It is known as available volume of the phase space cell, or in other words, it is denoted by delta tau. Delta tau is given by delta v dot delta v dash. So what is delta v? Delta x into delta y into delta z, and delta v dash is nothing but delta px into delta py into delta pz. And this is your equation number 3, and this is known to be the elementary volume of the elementary phase space cell. Elementary means a small part of the whole phase space whose volume is given by equation number 3, and generally it is written as h naught the cube. It is written as h naught the cube. H naught the cube. So h naught the cube is equal to delta x into delta y into delta z into delta px into delta py into delta pz. This is named as the available volume of a phase space cell. So what is the dimensional formula for h naught cube? See, length into length into length means 3 lengths are there. Momentum has got meter per second, kilogram meter per second, kilogram meter per second, kilogram meter per second. Means 3 masses, m cube, 3 lengths and 3 lengths becomes 6 lengths per second means 3 time inverse. So dimensional formula for h naught cube becomes m cube means kilogram 3 times is there. Length the power 6 means length is 6 times occurring in this, and time the power minus 3 means time is occurring here as inversely 3 times. So the definition of h for h naught, so h naught is given by taking cube root on both sides. Here taking cube root on both sides, you will get h naught as dimensional formula, which is m, cube root of m cube is m, cube root of l the power 6 is l square, and cube root of t the power minus 3 is t minus 1. So what is the dimensional formula for h naught? It is m l square t minus 1. And the units of h naught is m stands for kilogram, l square means meter square, t inverse means per second, kilogram meter square per second. Now I can rewrite this kilogram meter per second as, see what I am going to do over here, kilogram meter square per second, divide and multiply by second. So I will get kilogram meter square per second square into second. So what is kilogram meter square per second square? Kilogram means m, mass. Meter square per second square means velocity square. So half mv square means energy. So kilogram meter square per second square is same as that of the units of energy, that is joule into second. So joule into second, which is also the units of Planck's constant. Joule into second is also the units of Planck's constant. Hence h naught possesses the units of Planck's constant. That is why we always denote h naught by h in case of BE and FD statistics. In case of BE and FD statistics, the size of the phase space volume cell becomes h cube. It becomes h cube. Whereas in case of MB statistics, it remains as h naught the cube. Alright. Next topic is, now here I wish to say you something, my dear students. This topic, this topic, this all topic, this is very important for 2 marks question. Sometimes it happens in the numericals in the exams, like show that H naught possesses the units of Planck's constant. So you have to solve all that. Alright, you have to solve this thing to show that H naught possesses the units of Planck's constant. Alright, now come to the next topic, division of a phase space into compartments and cells. So why do we divide? See, last time we have done one topic in the last chapter, that was distribution of n distinguishable particles in k compartments of unequal sizes. So what happened over there, that the compartments were not alike, they were of unequal sizes. So what do we do over here? We have divided the whole space into small squares, considering one square as one space cell. One space cell. This is the meaning of this topic. Why do we divide the whole phase space into small compartments and cells? Now see, for studying the dynamic systems, all the systems whose particles are in motion, to study such systems, we have introduced the concept of phase space. So we have introduced the concept of phase space to study the dynamic systems. So what do? We divide the whole phase space into compartments and cells in the same way as we divide the position space of a box. Suppose I have a box. With the help of some partitions, I divide the whole box into small squares. So similarly, I can divide the whole phase space into small cells and compartments. So the compartments may be of different sizes, but each cell should be of same size, as we have done in the distribution of n particles into k compartments. All the compartments were of different size, but all the phase space cells are of same size, that is small squares. Different compartments may contain different number of cells. Like in the first compartment, there are 100 chairs. In the second compartment, there are 15 chairs. In the third compartment, there are 50 chairs, and so on. So each compartment can be of different size, but the number of phase space cells, each compartment can be different. Phase space cell size will be same. So for this purpose, we assume that the available volume of each phase space cell is H naught cube. So what do we do over here? We have assigned a volume to one phase space cell, which is H naught the cube. H naught the cube means the volume of one phase space cell. It remains same for all the compartments. Means you can compare it with the size of a chair. The size of chair would remaining the same, although the compartments or the rooms are of different sizes. Now the compartments correspond to different energy intervals. Each compartment has got its own energy, and each momentum. Each compartment has got its own energy as well as own momentum, but the size of the phase space cell for each compartment would be H naught the cube. Thus, what do we do by dividing